Good evening and welcome to Nerds at Night. This is Kid Thunder DJ bringing you a solo video tonight. We're going to be giving you some of our first looks at WWE 2k17. Now, fair disclosure, I have been playing quite a bit, and I know we've been away this week, haven't done a podcast yet, probably unfortunately won't until later this week. This is our busy time of year on our retail side. We basically got 1 to 2 shows a month between now and January, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're pulling from the same inventory pool for every show, everything that we sell, we have to go out, pick, buy, trade, whatever to replace. So a lot of our free time has been devoted to that. Anyway, as you can see, this is the menu screen for 2K17. Very toned down compared to previous years. Kind of a smoky effect where they show characters at about their ramp level of their entrances. So I just want to kind of talk about some of the areas I've already played. Now, my career has been improved from last year. It's definitely worth playing. There's a couple things about it that are confusing, like there's still the authority angle, but once you start winning titles, you can also do stuff for Paul Heyman. Uh, they don't make it as easy to advance in rankings. Just winning every match isn't going to do it. I've won several matches over the course of the 3 or so months in game time I've been playing, and I'm still rank 5 for the United States title. So it's a mixture of completing authority quests and the matches you put on and whatnot that eventually will advance you. But it's still a lot of fun to play. The promo engine thing is pretty good. In fact, let's go ahead and that's where we're going to start tonight. We're actually going to go ahead and continue my game. You get to see my goofy custom character who's...
lineup on this card, starting with a bang. Sit tight for
Yes.
singles action. Coming up next, we have a real fan favorite against an imposing adversary.
So, I wanted to let you guys hear some of the commentary. So this is the main player screen. Now, before you get into this point, you can actually go through and pick where you want to run in, where you want to insert yourself into a promo, and everything else. So, obviously, I'm in a deal with Rusev right now, so I can't really do much else. You can simulate all the matches you're not in, so we'll do that. And this will also give us a chance to walk through some playing.
I'm not going anywhere. We have one of our breakout talents in a match that is sure to not disappoint. For everyone watching at home, I'd prepare to witness the unbelievable.
So as you can see, commentary in this game still hasn't gotten any better. I try to have the volume down a little bit because they get uppity about what comes across and what doesn't music-wise, and I haven't purged music from entrances yet to get around that. So hopefully nothing will be loud enough that it'll trigger a copyright claim. But anyway, load times are better, but not by much than they were over the last game. You can see we've been sitting here now for a good couple of seconds trying to wait for this to go through. Character models obviously do look a lot better. There's a lot more ways to customize character faces and bodies now. It does take a lot more effort and a lot more drilling into to really get the best effects, but if you're a creative character fan to the point where these features matter to you, then you'll want to do it to begin with, and these will be changes you'll welcome. Anyway, sorry if you guys heard just a sudden drop in game audio. It was a lot louder than I was intending it to be. So as you notice with my character's entrance here, there's still a few issues with clipping for hair strands and clothing tassels, but not as bad as it was last game. It was certainly a lot worse. Title belts, when they're on people, still look goofy because they scale them to the size of their body and not their actual size. So, a guy like Rusev comes out with a belt, it looks massive on them. Kind of like an undead Randy Savage. And going back to what I started to say when I was showing you the menu, this character I base on a friend of mine's characters we used to do back in the day, so it was always kind of goofy. I saved my custom characters for the universe mode. Although you can export while you're playing this character out if you wanted to. But I try to keep them separate. That way when I'm done with career mode and he goes back into regular game, he'll be whatever he ended up gaining from that experience. So now, one thing I don't like is that you can break out at the end of matches and attack people, but in career mode or you can't do it before matches. And I would like to think if their idea is to make rivalries really matter, that you should be able to do it so that you can build them up. Because there's less and less scripted rivalry moments. Like, the last game was built all around, and the last couple games was built all around them, where you'd pick the storyline and have to go through it, or in the game before you would randomly get a storyline and be forced to go through it. So I would like to have seen them add something that would have allowed us to pick and choose even more what we do to opponents to keep things going. Rusev. Nope, no Lana. I mean, she's in the game, just not in this match. Oh no, is he Hondaing up? Why is it when Muhammad Hassan did this was offensive? And more product placement in this game, this time Snickers instead of Totino's Pizza. So they've brought back the same scoring system. If you look in the top left corner, it's still based on basically move variety, which is gained by doing all of your moves. Because, that's accurate. I would love to see, like, classic Bret Hart and Hulk Hogan matches scored by this system. Because, when you only have 5 moves, Kevin Nash too, when you only have 5 moves of Doom, your move variety score is going to go down really quickly. So they've done a pretty good job of limiting what I call dead zone times, where moves can't be done because it's letting the character have its animation of writhing in pain, or you're not quite in perfect position to actually trigger the move animation. So it just stands there, and you just literally stay there hovering over your character. In fact, if you refer back to our first YouTube video, we covered 2K16 and some of those problems. And it still happens, but it happens far less than it did before. Oop. Anyway, now he's got me. So moving on from this match. The pin mechanic's back the way it was. It's still very janky and can be easily exploited based on what attack you do beforehand. There's been matches where, because he hit me with a bigger move, it would be this really fast bar that I just barely escaped from, and then a few moves later I'd get hit with a finisher and kick out, and it would feel like I had 5 minutes. I don't know. They really need to bring in a different model, which I know is hard to do for pins, but we'll have to go and see what they come up with next year, I guess, because as far as this year goes, they really didn't fix it much. We're going to talk about taunts for a second, guys. You have a lot of taunts. And unlike before, where they would give you a little bit of a boost in your build up towards a special or a finisher, that's all gone. There's basically 2 main types of taunt, or 3. There's a wake up taunt, which is usually done with the D-pad up, that no matter what's going on in the match will, as you can see, let your opponent stand up. There's a taunt to your opponent, which boosts some of your stats and damage done, as well as how much it takes down their stamina. Oh, hang on. And then there's a taunt to the crowd, which boosts your health and recovery a little bit, which is fine. I mean, that is a little bit of something new and new ways to strategize in a match. But when you're creating a character, my God, you have to create something like 30, well, not 30, but at least 20 different taunts trying to make something work. It's crazy. So let's see if I can get the pin already and move on. Oh, no, now my crazy hair is going to go everywhere. Now, in Create a Character, another thing that's really weird is they sort of changed up how you do your attires and such. So it's like a dedicated attire slot for entrance attire versus ring attire, and then you basically get 4 total slots to work with. So you can copy your attire over and then work with it with your entrance, but it's a little wonky to get used to. But the trade-off is it seems like it gives you more freedom over your entrance attire to remove elements that are going to be blocked anyway that are costing you points. So it just seems like a cleaner way to do what we've already been doing. And I'm all for anything that kind of cleans up the activities of this game. Anyway, now some other things while I'm playing the finish of this match. Hopefully I'll be able to end it soon. And that is, I talked about the breakouts earlier. There's also the backstage area, which they touted in this game. It's there. It's pretty good. It's not as good as the, in my opinion, as the old N64 No Mercy backstage areas, but the transitions work really well. There's no load times when you're going from room to room. There's tons of items to interact with, even though your backstage area really is only a hallway with a couple of with a locker room and an office and an interview area where you can kind of chase people away. But it's not crazy elaborate, which is good because you're just in some arena. But it's not dull either. It's certainly a great starting point, and next game it should be phenomenal if they improve on it. Man, Rusev's mounting a comeback. Oh, look at the kick! Look at the kick! Let's see if we can put this away. Probably a good idea to know if there was an authority challenge. Oh, I gotta let Rusev win. But I feel dirty saying that. I'm hit him with a finisher that I'll let him take over and do his business. Can't remember if it counts if I let him win by DQ. Let me look at the authority thing again. Well, it just says lose to Rusev. Let's find out. Do baseball bat time. Hit him. Hit him. You too, ref. Oh my god, he's going crazy. Someone should take his bat away. He's attacking the ring ropes even. I don't know if you saw it for a second. It was up. I should have left it up for a second. But man, they gave Triple H a derp face when you complete a authority challenge. All right, so this will bring us back to the My Career main screen once it gets through the events. And then we'll kind of walk through some of the things there. And then I'll walk you through the roster. And we'll pretty much call it. So anyway, here you have your matches. Your overall stats. This is where you can improve skills, hire a manager, abilities, attributes. Now, the victory poses, it wasn't what I was hoping it was based on the few screenshots they showed in the early on videos. That it looked like you could actually, kind of like back in one of the SmackDown versus Raws, or even maybe just SmackDown games, where you could literally create a full-on movement. In this one, you can't. You're really just picking what music clip and what pre-existing victory pose you want based on if you're a face or you're a heel, if it's a title win and you're a face, or a title win and you're a heel. So it's a step in the right direction, but it is not as good as it could be. Obviously, you can check your authority status. Paul Heyman guy challenges, which I'm not qualified for yet. Rivalries, which, is same as the last game, so. And then your t-shirt chills is a way to track, I guess, how exciting you are, because even though your popularity can increase, and mine has every week since I started, as you can see, I have a lot of peaks and a pretty long slide right now in sales. But it is what it is. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get out of my career mode now. And we're going to go into a quick roster preview. And then we're probably going to go ahead and call this video. Again, this is just a first thought video. We're probably going to be bringing you more information about it as we start doing the Nerds at Night Monday Night Wrestling thing where we have matches and invite you all to share with us your PS4 characters you want uploaded and want to see involved. Go ahead and leave those in the comment and we'll download them in and we'll have some fighters for them to go up against, and it'll kind of be our best as we can edit together show. But let's get in here now and just look at some of the characters. So it's always weird how some of these character models are hyper detailed and some look like they were one step above the Create a Wrestler suite. Wow, Christian has an old ape face. She's in some trouble. Macho Man. It's great to see a lot more NXT talent in this one than there was in the last game, but you know, at some point they're going to have to decide if NXT is a full-on third brand or not, because they're still not doing it justice. In fact, in this year, in the career mode, you can skip NXT altogether, which makes sense. There are some guys who go straight to the main roster, but it's kind of blasphemous if you consider how much NXT is keeping the casual fans interested. And there you go. So that's a quick run through the list of the regular in-game characters. Here's the current downloadable superstars. And that's it for this episode. Now, this is, again, just kind of our first thoughts, first couple of playthroughs. We'll be bringing you more details on this game as time goes on and as we find more interesting bits to talk about. Till then, that's it for Nerds Night Gaming. I'm Kid Thunder DJ, and we will see you soon.